Okay, it was not an accident. See these three people right here? They were murdered. Okay, it was not an accident. Oh, he accidentally rolled himself into a gym mat and suffocated and died. It was his own fault. Oh, she just fell from a high thing because she just got super tipsy. No. They were murdered. Okay, they were murdered, and the entire tragedy was covered up to save the asses of people who did not look like them. Cases like Nolan Wells, Tamla Horsford, and the devastating loss of Kendrick Johnson are exactly why black people have to be careful when being in certain spaces or trusting environments where safety is promised but completely fails in reality. When you look at the details of what happened to them, you're forced to confront a brutal, exhausting pattern. A human being with a family, a life, and a future dies under deeply suspicious, terrifying, and completely unresolved circumstances. And instead of a relentless, transparent hunt for the absolute truth, the system immediately defaults to self-protection. Authorities rush to close the book, cover it up, call it an accident, and push a narrative that defies basic logic, leaving grieving families to fight for years just to get basic answers, clear up conflicting reports, and demand a real look at what happened. But the failure is not just in the official reports, it's also in the silence. It is the terrifying reality that a person can be surrounded by a community or peers 1 minute and completely abandoned the next because people choose comfort over doing the right thing. And we all know what's gonna happen. One of those white kids' parents is gonna pay off the police and they're just gonna sweep this under the rug and protect all of those white kids from going to jail for murdering that poor boy. The same way they did the exact same thing to all of the mothers in that household during the Tamala Horsford case. And all of these murderers get to roam the streets scot-free. From Kendrick Johnson's murder, to Tamala Horsford's murders, to Nolan Wells' murders. And you guys still want to act like America's the greatest country on earth and that racism is over and that, oh my gosh, racism is not a big deal. This isn't a problem. Racism is something that was 400 years ago. Get over it. No, it's still fucking happening. I feel like the deepest cruelty here is the institutional gaslighting, combined with the weaponization of time. The system intentionally drags its feet, running out the clock and hoping that as the weeks, months, and years pass, the public will tire, the outrage will fade, and the world will move on. They expect a community that has documented this exact pattern for generations to just sit back, stay quiet, and accept a bullshit story that makes no sense. The double standard is staggering. Everybody knows that if the demographics were reversed, the response would be entirely different. There would be an astronomical deployment of resources, non-stop national media coverage, and an obsession with finding out exactly who was responsible. But instead, the grueling burden of begging for basic paperwork, funding independent autopsies, investigations, and keeping the victim's memory alive gets dumped entirely on heartbroken families who are already carrying immense grief. The root of this problem is a foundational hypocrisy where some lives are granted the dignity of a thorough investigation while others are treated as convenient afterthoughts. People are terrified to talk about this because it forces an admission that accountability is practically non-existent when certain people are the victims. These are not just statistics or headlines. These are real people whose lives were cut short, followed by a system that decided it would be a swell idea to choose silence rather than justice. It is a harsh, undeniable reality that can no longer be ignored or swept under the rug. See these three people.
Listen, brothers and sisters, we have the right to have collective unease when we got all these unsolved incidences and we're getting little to no evidence presented to us publicly. When there's a lack of transparency, when everything seems to be shrouded in mystery, we have the right as the court of public opinion, as well as United States citizens, to demand answers. Some exclusive footage came out today, and we're going to see if we can dig a little bit and get some of those answers. I'm going to make this very clear, ladies and gentlemen. In this day and age, it ain't too many people you can trust, and be careful who you call a friend. Look, we're going to get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love. They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we're truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks, but these weirdos and freaks working against us. They hate our soul. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our soul. Nubreed.
It's a holy convocation. They cross the line, we gon' see a demonstration. We so alive, we can see right through the matrix. Unshackled from the chains and the bondage. Smooth selling, fresh linen on these garments. Carried by mercy, spirit led till you call me up. Divine justice, my God, he is not a bluff. Survived the ambush, they plans was corrupt. Escape the clutch, hit the 3-wheel motion. Swerving on them cowards till I get where I'm going. Running marathons, they waiting like some vultures. Defy destruction, been redeemed, this is not a dream. They plotting scheme, mark they self with a red beam. Slouched over devil, got them on some puppet strings. Reign supreme, they can never break my self-esteem. Survived the war, thank God, heaven intervened. He intervened. Lord, I hear you now, I hear you now, I hear you now. Cause you spoke so loud. Lord, I fear you now, I fear you now, I fear you now, I fear you now, cause you spoke so loud. I thank you, Lord, for the warnings you given me. I gave them second chances, but it won't be a trilogy. I'm walking in my peace and protecting my energy. Corruption in their soul, and it isn't no remedy, no remedy. For there's no remedy against the proud man's plague. For the plan of wickedness have taken root in him. Ecclesiasticus 3:28. It wasn't gentle correction, it was prophetic conviction. Had to get on the right path and make some restrictions. I'm just thankful I'm living and you created division. I'm finding joy after morning, grace is rewriting my story. You gave me quiet revelations, I'll be inciting your glory. You took them people about my life that wasn't good for me. I hear you now, so I'm moving with passion. Rebuke the witches, warlocks, and them demon assassins. Now the tabernacle bell rings whenever we passing. They so flabbergasted, wanted me in the casket. But the light is descending and the fear is dissolved. Lord, your power is awesome. Speaking truth, we're becoming a problem, but they really can't solve it. Take heed, you shall hearken or keep living in darkness. Lord, I hear you now, I hear you now, I hear you now, I hear you now, cause you spoke so loud. I feel you now, I feel you now, I feel you now, I feel you now, cause you spoke so loud. You spoke so loud. You spoke so loud. You spoke so loud. You spoke so loud.
Okay, so all right, we back. Thank y'all for letting me know the audio was out. Looked like we had somewhat of a delay. But as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, nowadays we gotta pray. And we gotta pray that the Most High protects us from hidden enemies, devils in disguise. You know, people putting on a facade, acting one way when they're a whole nother way. You know why? Because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this album that I'm about to drop. It's a movie, y'all. Every song is like a mini movie. So pretty soon, y'all going to be seeing songs begin to be released. And I advise y'all to support the work because it's going to be some magnificent music there. And, you know, we just like to be creative, put out things that's going to really trigger some thought. And I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. And it's very timely when it comes to this message because Nolan Wells, he trusted the wrong people. And he ended up getting lined up. And I'm going to tell y'all, look, something very eerie is going on. There's a real discomfort going on with the masses, with the collective, especially those who have empathy and can see and can feel what's going on. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. I'm going to just say it straight up. These are ritualistic killings. There's no other way around it. There's a reason why Nolan Wells ended up dead on the 4th of July. It's a reason why, you know, we didn't get an autopsy report until a day after the body was found. We really still don't have it. We still have a lot of unanswered questions. It's a reason why they can get away with murdering our people. Because that's what it is. I want to be the one who speaks it direct. That's what's happening. Why is it when we seem to get secluded with these individuals, they act like they don't know what happened and they get away with it? Like, let's take Tamla, or pardon me, Tamla is how you pronounce her name. Tamla Horsford. And she was from Georgia, by the way, Forsyth County. A Black mother of 5. She attended an overnight gathering. They called it a sleepover. Bunch of basketball moms, soccer moms, sports moms. She was the only Black mother. By the morning, she was dead. And you know when the police questioned the other women? Oh, we don't know. We don't know what happened to her. You know, she went out, smoked a cigarette. We don't know. How do they get away with that? Ritualistic killings, blood sacrifices. There's some real eerie stuff going on in these suburban areas. There's a lot of skeletons in the closet. So y'all got to understand, Esau, the Idumeans, the Edomites, the Vikings have a long history of cannibalism, ritualistic murder, rape, kidnapping. They have a long history of this. It is the underbelly of this society. You know, that case is emblematic to a way broader concern we all should be having right now. And the concern is regarding transparency. Why does all of the investigations we put out it gets no rigor? It gets no rigor from law enforcement. It leaves us with unease on purpose. It leaves us in a place where we're unhealed. Why? Because all of these cases, their deaths remain unsolved. And see, you know, the Sambo super soldiers don't want us to question anything because they want us to stay asleep. No, when you're awake, you are awake. You can see. They don't want us to be able to see what they're doing to us psychologically. They want us to question our own sanity. And don't let nobody shame you for wanting to know answers, brothers and sisters. You're supposed to want to know answers when one of your people get taken out unjustly. Our suspicions are justified. Our suspicions are justified. Listen, they left with that young man on that island. They should have came back with him off the island. That screams foul play. People who are innocent call the police. Those guys did not call the police. And I'm talking about the so-called friends of Nolan Wells. There was no police call. The police only got a call saying that they found a body. That's guilt.
People right here.
That's guilt. Now, we got some video that went out. And we got to talk about this, y'all, because apparently there was an altercation. That's right. Now, there's some exclusive footage. Somebody had a cellular device, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. All praises to the Most High. Somebody had a cell phone. Now, this can open up a whole can of worms to really disrupt their cover-up, because there is a cover-up being conducted. Let's just call it like it is. There's foul play coming from all angles. Now, this recording happened on July 4th on Horn Island. Now, of course, we may not be able to exclusively see who is involved in the altercation, but you can see Nolan there. Now, Nolan is the only one who ended up missing that day. So common sense would tell us that whatever this altercation was regarding, more than likely, almost 99%, is a 99% chance that this altercation involved Nolan, right? 99% chance, because nobody else was missing that day. So we got some footage, and I won't be surprised if more footage comes out. I won't. These teenagers have cell phones, and I believe a lot more people know what happened. But peep this, y'all. Y'all hear that? Some obscenities is being hurled. So Nolan was standing on a beach while his acquaintances and friends are screaming and hurling profanities and threats at him. It does not depict a physical fight, but rather some type of severe verbal dispute between the two. Now, there's a couple places where some advanced or enhanced audio clips analyzed by a few online communities, and they suggest that it was a very tense atmosphere, right? Now, law enforcement has already been noted that law enforcement said that they got this video. Law enforcement already got it, already fact-checked that the video is relevant, and they said they are investigating the video. And also, it looks like, and rumors are surfacing, that the young men that was with Nolan actually all got lawyers. They all got lawyers. And it is a fact that they all deleted their social medias. One of the friends involved, so-called friends involved, his mother is a judge, a high-ranking judge in Mississippi. And his father is a physician. So I'm pretty sure that the governments are helping to cover this situation up. And listen, they were given their directives. They got off social media. They're pretty much in hiding right now. They got blood on their hands. They done something dirty to Nolan. See, you get these people on the island, and there's only one black spot there, and alcohol is floating around. All of the jealousy and envy that they actually harbor within their souls, all of the animosity and hatred that they carry, it was carried out on the 4th of July. Them boys are guilty. Them boys are guilty, y'all. Ain't no other way around it. Let's get a better look at this footage. I don't know why this person would put music in this footage. That makes no sense. We want to hear what's being said.
So this is Horn Island. This is how the boats park up. I just wanted to give you a visual of how, you know, the situation looks. Basically, they're saying an altercation happened on July 4th around 4 p.m. around the same time that Nolan Wells was reported missing or going missing, right? I just wanted to share a video so you get a better look at how the pull-up is on Horn Island, how the scene is. It's Trey Brown for Trey Brown Channel. I'll be back.
Yo, there was a heated argument. I heard some real animosity there. There was a lot of tension. And this could be over a female. It could be over a woman. You know, if you end up being one of the token black guys and you end up dealing with their women, oh, they don't think that they're okay with it. Don't think that they don't see color. They're talking. And the truth is, I'm going to just tell y'all like it is. We belong with our own tribe. We belong with our own people. And I'm going to tell you, it's just certain things that we don't do as a collective. As a collective. This is not about hate. You know, we can mix and mingle with different groups of people respectfully. But ultimately, you know, we got to be connected the way we need to be connected. Because it's certain rules and boundaries that we have that other demographics may not have. And see, this is becoming a pattern. This is becoming a downright pattern. Peep this, y'all. Let's see what some of the other brothers and sisters got to say in these streets about this, man, because the footage is not giving up much, but the police going to have to give some answers. First of all, we need to know the cause of death. What is the cause of death? Why are they taking so long to release the autopsy photos or the autopsy information?
There are a set of unspoken truths.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all be going overboard with the music sometimes, and YouTube been clamping down on me lately, and it's simply because I'm putting out a lot of truth. But I'm gonna get back to that one. Let's go here.
You know, everything about the adult in me tells me I need to wait to see what exactly happened. I've been a part of way too many line of duty investigations. If you guys in the military, you understand what I'm saying? And I actually lost a soldier to a drowning incident. I want to say it was 2014, PFC Washington, right there in Fort Hill, Oklahoma. But this shit stinks. I don't like it. And we all are adults. And we know that if my friend, something happens to my friend, I call 911. Point blank, period. Anything outside of that, it doesn't seem normal to everybody who has a sound mind. Having said that, we do need to wait to see what's going on. But more importantly, you need to get involved in your kids' friends. You need to use discernment and get involved in your kids' friends. This is happening way too many times right now. And America is not even in a position where we can handle some shit like this. This is a powder keg waiting to explode. They better get ahead of this, and they better do a thorough investigation, and they better be the kind of people that we can trust to do an investigation. That's kind of the issue lately. The issue lately is our inability to trust authority figures. So when there's an issue, what do you do as an adult? You start focusing on the things you can control. I'm going to try to drop the link to the GoFundMe either in the comments or in this post, and let's see if we can at least provide some aid and comfort to this young man's family. Rest in peace to this young man. I hope the family finds some grace right now, but this shit stinks, and they better do something about this immediately.
Right, and I believe, and I also think about the Shanquella Robinson situation. Even a sister who wandered off with her black friends, and y'all remember how they did Shanquella Robinson down in Mexico. So I don't want to make this a race specific thing, but we do got to take our cautions. I want to make this a situation where we are cognitive of everyone, because don't get it twisted. It could be usins too that'll line you up now. You know, if it's jealousy involved, if it's energy, if it's bad energy involved, these are the things we got to pay attention to in life in general. energy. And this is why I'm always talking about discernment. That's why I'm always talking about testing the spirits of people. Some of you all out there have survived some traps that you may not even know that was being set up. And those traps were very real, very real. And the Most High spared you. That's what that song was about. The song that I released earlier, that I just aired for y'all at the beginning. It's about anybody can be a person that's trying to line you up. You gotta pay attention to the energy. And we know that these people have a pattern of violence. We know that they like to, cannibalize and destroy and eviscerate our people when they are given the opportunity. It goes through their blood. They're animalistic. They get primal when they listen. The blood of their ancestors can kick in at any given moment, and they start getting primitive when they have an opportunity. When that opportunity is given, they're chopping at the bit. Make no mistake about that.
So you mean to tell me the friends of Nolan Wells alleged?
Can't do that. That's Lunix. I got 5 on it. Y'all going crazy with the instrumentals. Nope, y'all not getting me with that.
Bro, what the fuck did you little devils do to Nolan? How do you go to an island with your friend? You keep his phone, but he ends up missing. And nobody knows what happens to him. The excuse is he went with a girl. The girl says she thought he went with his friends. And he doesn't, no one reports him missing 2 hours later. In racist ass Mississippi, we're supposed to believe that there was no foul play. And now we're seeing a video surface and we're hearing someone cursing and yelling in the background. And allegedly Nolan may have gotten into some type of altercation. They found his body lifeless in water. And it's like the story is the same. We're seeing an increase in lynchings happen. We're seeing an increase in hate crimes against black boys, black women, and it's crazy. 4th of July, the 4th of July 250-year celebration showed us that shit has not changed much. When you have white mediocrity, masked men walking across the White House lawn shouting, "Bring back America," and white victory. Bro, we need an independent autopsy.
Yep.
Kendrick Johnson's case, who is still unsolved, showed us we cannot trust the DA's autopsy, the county's autopsy, especially rumor has it that one of these kids' mother is a judge. Mm-hmm. We need an independent autopsy. We need to know what happened to Nolan. How did he die? The truth will come out, and I'm hoping that justice is served and these little devils go to prison. And black parents really need to take note, because a lot of black parents go to the suburbs, go to these white schools thinking that proximity to whiteness means protection, means status. But proximity to whiteness is looking more like danger, death. Justice for Nolan.
Yep.
Bro, what the fuck did you little devils do to Nolan? How do you...
And Nolan's family, they got that hot shot lawyer on the case, which is great. What's his name? Crump. Yeah, they got Ben Crump. So that's a good thing that they actually spending some money on a good lawyer. I don't know a bit, or perhaps Ben Crump took it pro bono, but they got some good lawyers on the case. So hopefully we see a break in this, because this just can't keep going on. This just can't keep going on, man. Like, we talking about a young man who had his whole future ahead of him. Just graduated, about to get a scholarship, play for a community college out there in Mississippi. Yeah, somebody call him an ambulance chaser. Hey, if he gets results, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you was in a situation, or your family was in a situation, you would want Ben Crump to represent your family. You know, whether he's being an opportunist or not, guess what? He's respected in law and he gets results. You know, people hated what's my boy that if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. What was that lawyer name? Y'all remember the man with the plan that got OJ off? People didn't like him either, but it was results. It's results. Because some justice need to be made. Somebody said Crump ain't for us. He about money. He got paid off by my husband unalive. Hold on, wait, what? Paid off for my husband unalive by the cops unarmed here in Ohio in 2023. Wow. Yeah, Johnny Cochran. Yeah, that's who I was thinking about. But that's interesting. That's interesting. You know, I mean, all lawyers, let's keep it 1,000, right? All lawyers. Now, let's not say that. Most lawyers are sleazebags. Most of them. But they know how to play the game. If you got a lawyer that know how to play the game, it is what it is. But yeah, we're going to need some answers.
If you look like me, pasty white, I think that we have a responsibility to earn the trust of people who are not pasty white. Trust is not automatic. It has to be built through your actions, your consistency, and whether you speak up when it matters. Too often we see stories where a black or brown person was the only person of color in a predominantly white group, and that trust.
Hey, all of the people watching said Crump worked for them. Hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, if y'all say Crump is no good and he aligned with them, I see we're going to be in agreement with that. We're going to be in agreement with that because you're right. They do be paying some of our people off, bro. And at the end of the day, if justice is not served, then in answers, and we don't have any answers, then we know Crump is pretty much, we know Crump is sold out. We're just going to have to see what happens.
Was betrayed in the most devastating of ways. Those cases leave lasting scars, not just for families, but for entire communities. If someone is hesitant around me because I'm white, I don't take that personally. I understand that history and lived experiences shape how people move through this world. It is on me to show over time that I am someone who is safe, who will speak up, and who will not stay silent in the face of racism, and who will always use my privilege to make spaces safer instead of expecting instant trust. Trust is earned, and for a lot of people, that's not just a nice idea. It's literally survival. If you look like me, pasty white, I think that we have a responsibility to earn the trust of people who are not pasty.
The only problem is, the only way to do that is if y'all actually get out there and y'all fight for justice when it comes to what y'all people do. If y'all get out there and fight for justice, that's how you earn some trust. See, you know, we don't have the numbers. We just don't have the numbers. We may have some type of financial power within the world, but we don't have the numbers. And we don't have the status. But if white America's so, concerned, won't y'all go ahead and do a million pasty march for us then and get things solved? Do a 1 million person march for us and get it solved. That's how you can prove yourself, because it's your people taking us. It's your people hunting us like it's damn Hunger Games. It's your people playing with us like it's Squid Games out here. If y'all want our trust, then do something about it. Go deal with your people. It's going to take the sons telling the fathers, our fathers have inherited lies. It's going to take y'all putting some new litigation in place. It's going to take y'all pushing some paperwork and putting your money where your mouth is. Other than that, we're not trying to hear that. I'm sorry, we're not trying to hear it. We see too much madness going on with these suspected white supremacists. Too much madness. They go to us for everything. They go to us for style. They'll go to us. They'll go to us for sex and all that goofy stuff. They want everything from us, but they be racist. You know how many Caucasian women that have black children, they grow up calling their children N-words? No, we don't trust y'all. We see what type of time y'all on. No, they code switch and all kinds of stuff. We're down for the struggle. No, you down for the struggle. Go get some justice for what your ancestors done. That's how you situate that. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you that the first sign of trouble, they going to turn into Karens. At the first sign of trouble. Let's just keep it 1,000. Hey, man, this Nubreed Global Truth is, hey, we just going to tell it like it is. I'm going to go to your sources, Kim C. I see what you sent me here. Yeah, the first sign of trouble, they're going to use their white privilege. That's what it is with them. They want their white privilege to be, the flip and dip. They want their white privilege to be accessible, but they want to go to the cookout at the same time. It's like with a lot of these people, it's almost like the movie, what's the vampire movie that just came out, that box office hit that just came out with, damn, man, Michael B. Jordan. What's the name of that junk? Sinners. It's just like Sinners. You let them in. They want to go to the juke joint. But as soon as they don't get full acceptance, oh, they're going to bring the cavalry in. And they're going to sabotage every damn thing. I'm just telling you like it is. Yeah, just like in Sinners. Michael B. let that, one of the twins let one of them in. She was a mixed one, but she was one of them. He let her in. Think about it. He let her in. Everything went wrong. Every damn thing went wrong. No. No, they gotta, I'm telling you, it just is what it is. Listen, we done been through too much in this country to be playing those games. Respect has to be earned. We just not being all trustworthy and just, no, we're not doing all that. We're not doing it. Too many cover-ups.
Service Sam here, sending a message of love out to Christine Wansley, the mother of Nolan Xavier Wells. I hate having to make these videos. It's heartbreaking. I'm a father myself, and my son's a football player. I can only imagine what she's going through. She private messaged me and thanked me for sharing this story and thanking others for getting this story out there. I asked her, I said, how is it possible that these friends know nothing? And she said they're asking themselves the same questions. And I think they need us. They need the community to come together to do some of this legwork because they're obviously going through hell right now. And what I don't understand is how these boys have no information. How are you on that boat? Somebody sent me a message saying that Horn Island, there's no trees. It's flat. There's no way that this young man was just not seen or heard from.
Right.
And also, I saw somebody in the comments saying, why do we have to make it about race? Because it is about race. Okay? Because America made it about race. Because how often do you see a group of black kids and one white kid hanging out with them and the white kid just disappears? This is not just something regular that happens, but this is something that has been happening when the one black person in an all white group happens to be the only one who has an issue and disappears. So I think we need to quit swapping ignorance. It is so important for white people to study our American racist history and come to grips with it. And understand, you don't have to feel guilty. You just have to educate yourself so you don't say ignorant things like, why are we making it about race? because it is about race, because it has been a racist country for the 250 years that we've been a country. It's been a racist country. So we need to come together with this family. We need to help them get answers. Christine said it herself. Sam, we're asking all the same questions. Why did the friends not make sure he was on the boat? Why did the friends come back with the cell phone but not him? Why are they saying nothing? Why are they lawyering up? This just seems very guilty to me. So please, everybody, let's work together to help this family find justice for Nolan Xavier Wells. Christine has asked if anybody has any photos or videos from around 4:30 p.m. on the 4th of July from the island. Please DM her and let's help her get some justice for her son. Secret Service.
Right. I ain't gonna lie, that name Secret Service, Sam, that kind of I'm hoping he ain't no agent provocateur or nothing like that. That name Secret Service, whatever. But anyway, what he's saying is true. This country is shrouded in racism. We can't say it's not about race when you have a situation where there's one black spot out there and he's the only one who doesn't come home. And we're talking about an island with no trees. Obvious lies have been told. They talking about they seen him walk off with some girl. Where the hell did he walk off to? There's no trees. He didn't go into no wooded areas. Whatever happened, it happened out in the open. And then the fact that we don't have the cause of death, that's mind-boggling. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think happened. I think an argument took place. And we heard the argument, we seen the argument, we seen the altercation, whether it was over a girl or rather it was some competitive jealousy going on. Rather, they had an argument on the way there. Something happened where it was decided, yo, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this dude dirty. And what I believe happened is, I think he got on that boat to go back home with those guys. And I think the private boat they took, not only, hear me out, not only does those teenagers need to be under investigation, but whoever sailed that boat to that island, he knows what happens. He knows what happens. And this is my theory. They threw him over that damn boat. They threw Nolan over that boat. I have no doubt in my mind that that's what happened. I would be shocked if they didn't say he drowned. And I believe they did it soon after they left. I'm talking about soon after they sailed to go back home. He was thrown off to the point where it was too far to swim back to shore, but way too far to swim home. And he was just left. That is in my mind, that's what happened. I can't think of nothing else that happened, because with all those phones out there, it would have had to been, the altercation would have had to escalate right there, and everybody would have seen what happened. Them boys was drinking. Nolan thought those was his friends. He thought he can trust them, but they had that red eye. Oh, they had the devil in them. They took him to Horn Island and they showed their horns. And that's what I believe happened personally. And I'm actually going to do a little bit of digging to see if they've already released the cause of death, because it should be released by now. It's a shame they're going to have to hire a damn private mortuary, private doctor and all of that.
These are Nolan Wells' friends that didn't remember anything, but they remembered to deactivate every single social media account that they have. Them, his girlfriend, their parents, all the accounts deactivated and wiped clean. All of them. Mm-hmm. Jax, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, Morgan, jail. Jail for everyone. Because you know, they're already circling the wagons. They're already lawyered up. But wait, their parents are doctors, lawyers, and judges. This is the father of one of his friends. And this is the stepmama, Ashley Cole, court judge for Jackson, George, and Greene counties in the beautiful state of Mississippi, has already deactivated her account. Deactivated all the accounts, and they have all unfollowed Nolan. And this is Katie, who is either a friend, close friend, or girlfriend, who is supposedly, allegedly cooperating with authorities because all the other friends are lawyered up and circling the wagons and not helpful and not talking. The doctors and the lawyers and the judges' parents of these 5 have said that they would like privacy, please, at this time. But you know what? Name them publicly. No privacy and no peace for Eli, also known as Jax, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, and Morgan. What happened to Nolan? What did you do to Nolan? His phone came back safe, but he didn't? Why were y'all arguing just minutes before he was reported missing? And y'all were continuing to party late into the evening. Other boats that were docked and parked next to yours saw y'all. But Nolan was missing. We're going to find out.
Okay, see, here's more theories that are forming now. Wow. Somebody put in the chat, they already said he drowned. So I'm going to look that up as well. Because either they threw him off that boat, or according to this young lady, she's saying that Nolan was missing while they were still out there partying, and other boats, other people seen them out there partying, which means they could have done him dirty once everybody else started to leave the island. Mostly it was empty, and maybe something else broke out, and I don't know, they could have drowned him. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you right now, friends don't move like this. Delete all your accounts. This young man just ended up missing. Listen, let me tell you something. Before Nolan's body was found, before it was confirmed that his body was found, the one young man, he deleted his accounts. The young man whose mother is a judge, he removed his accounts before the body was found. If that ain't guilt, I don't know what is. That ain't how you do your friends. That ain't how you do your friends. You leave without calling the police. You leave without your friend. You leave without finding out what happened. And you just run and go hide and delete your social media. Them boys did something foul to Nolan. They did Nolan dirty, man. Straight up. Listen to this again. They deleted all of their social media. What teenagers do that?
Truth shall come to light. These are Nolan Wells' friends that didn't remember anything, but they remembered to deactivate every single social media account that they have. Them, his girlfriend, their parents, all the accounts deactivated and wiped clean. All of them. Jax, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, Morgan, jail. Jail for everyone. Because you know, they're already circling the wagons. They're already lawyered up. But wait, their parents are doctors, lawyers, and judges. This is the father of one of his friends. And this is the stepmama, Ashley Cole, court judge for Jackson, George, and Greene counties in the beautiful state of Mississippi, has already deactivated her account. Deactivated all the accounts, and they have all unfollowed Nolan. And this is Katie, who is either a friend, close friend, or girlfriend, who is supposedly, allegedly cooperating with authorities because all the other friends are lawyered up.
The judge, all the other friends are lawyered up. The judge is the one that told them to delete those social medias. I'm telling you, she gave the legal advice. Soon as them boys got back home, they told their parents what happened. Because that's how it goes. I mean, listen, they kept everything between them. You know what them, I'm going to tell you what those white privileged kids did. They got home. They were nervous. They started talking to the parents. More than likely, they all met up. All the whole neighborhood, all the families, everybody involved met up. This is how they get on code. This is how they are able to cover up things. You want to talk about gangster? You want to talk about an oath of silence? This is how they move. They like, look, nobody is to talk. We're all going to get lawyers. We're all to get lawyers. Everybody unfollow Nolan. Now, what kind of friends do that? Everybody unfollow him. And some would go ahead and spin it and say they scared of social media backlash. Well, when you being transparent, you don't have to be afraid of that. This young lady is cooperating with police. What are they afraid of? Because they did it. They murdered that young man. They murdered Nolan. All three of them, they murdered him and they need to go to jail for it. They need to be punished to the highest extent of the law. There's no reason why Carmelo Anthony is sitting up in prison for 35 years for self-defense. And you got these individuals walking free. No, put them all in jail for murder, first degree. Telling you, bro.
Bullshit! Check out these comments and trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. One of my passengers is pretty certain he was part of a group that was almost fighting around 5 p.m. The Bertram with the blue top that I posted left shortly after that and pretty fast. I don't know what Bertram means, if anybody in the comments know. Then this person says, were they fighting amongst themselves or other people? That's a question I'd have. Then he says, the 3 people on my boat that saw it all, yes, it was amongst themselves. I saw this comment and then I went to go digging to see if I can find any kind of video of the incident. So then I find this video, which this is supposedly Nolan, and these are his friends. And in the video, you can hear what sounds like Nolan raising his voice and arguing with someone. And even right here, it looks like she's holding him back. Even when you look at the body language of the people in the boat next to the guy recording, they're looking as if they're watching, hey, what's going on over there? And I'll play the video for you one more time.
Yeah.
Will Nolan Xavier Wells get the justice he deserves? I'll keep you guys updated as more details come out about this story because they're coming out pretty fast and pretty quick. Dang. As long as we tracking.
Man, I'm telling you, man, young Nolan went out in a horrific way because he didn't have no body there that was going to defend and protect him. They all stood in unison and they all had an agreement that, listen, nobody is to ever find out about this. I mean, these are the conversations they had on the boat ride back. Look, nobody's to find out what we did to Nolan. And then, you know, they laughed about it. Allegedly, they continued to party throughout the night like the savages they are. And they feel like, you know, they pretty much feel like they nuts dropped because they caught a body. They caught their first body. And see, these are the type of devils that grow up and end up being mayors of cities and governors. And these are the type of little devils that grow up being politicians. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Yo, it's all fair in love and war with middle America. You know, this is the same thing. Listen, this is the boys will be boys type of stuff for them. Your president was doing stuff like this back in the day. Matter of fact, all 50 of your presidents, they was involved in some type of scandal, some type of murder swept under the rug. Yeah, they all, listen, this is horse playing for them. Like Esau, the Idumeans are so evil. When they murder people as teenagers, it's horse playing to them. Oh, you know, hey, white boy summer. That's all Vivian called. That's just white boy summer. Yeah, y'all, but they want to make it seem like we're the evil, we're the problem in America. Now that's white boy summer right there. Dude, you remember back in the summer of 2026? Yeah, dude, man, that was an awesome time, you know. Hey, man, it's about time we go back to the island, man. Grab some brews. And then next time it's going to be a melanated woman they bring out there. And they're going to be full-grown adults with a position of power doing the same thing. They get away with this stuff. The whole town be knowing this is initiation for them. These are ritual killings. Yeah, somebody call it. This is Caucasoid cave culture. This is why the Most High got to exterminate these devils. That's why. We're not speaking hate. We're speaking the truth. The Most High compared them to the perversion of the earth. Most High say he hated Esau. We don't got to teach hate. The Most High already hate him. The sun is killing them up there in Europe. What are you talking about? Mother Nature is blazing them. We're just speaking the truth. They're going to be judged for this type of evil. Yeah. Telling you.
Me, Ashley Cole, who's a judge in Mississippi, who's also been identified as the stepmother of Warren Hudson. You know, one of the little boys that was on that boat.
Look, she got some good skin, boy. She look majestic. I thought she was AI for a second. You know she using her cocoa butter over there. Skin looking flawless, y'all. I thought that was a AI.
When Nolan didn't come back, and now his family has to grieve and seek justice because of something that happened that they refused to cooperate with the family. But let me give you a little insight on why.
She got me distracted, bro. I got to play this from the top.
Me, Ashley Cole, who's a judge in Mississippi, who's also been identified as the stepmother of Warren Hudson. You know, one of the little boys that was on that boat when Nolan didn't come back. And now his family has to grieve and seek justice because of something that happened that they refused to cooperate with the family. But let me give you a little insight on why Judge Cole is Exhibit 1 as to why this family needs their independent investigation. You see, it's attached to people who are judges, who are lawyers.
Girl, shut your cute ass up. We ain't hear nothing you talking about. Pretty brown eyes, and you know. She one of them Jones, she be talking, you're not even listening. You're like, yeah, for real? Uh-huh. Nah, but she right, though. She right though. They got, listen, they padded. They got family. And I'm telling you, it's generations of them. I'm talking about they're insulated. Straight up. They got the whole Supreme team. I'm telling you, man, that white privilege, bro, is something else.
Firemen. We're talking about connections to cover shit up. Let's talk about her. One of the most important reasons why Nolan Wells' family is going to need an independent investigation is because of this lady. You may remember her because there was a case in Mississippi that involved exchanging children, and a mother was unalived by the child's father because Cole refused to allow her to exchange at a police station where it was safer. Instead, she was shot and unalived by said father during a drop-off. Y'all remember Aubrey Wyatt? This judge ordered her mother that she could not post anything online about her daughter's way out because it would bring too much attention. So when we're talking about an independent fucking investigation, she is red flag number 1. Yeah, if you think They are not covering shit up as we speak. She is exhibit number fucking danger 1.
That's one thing about it. She already got the demo on the judge, y'all. I'm telling you, man. Hey, the sisters be digging, boy. She already got the demo on the judge. The judge already dirty. The judge already be covering stuff up. That's what I'm saying. When they left that island, they sat right down with that judge, and they was like, "Look, this is what we got to do." And this is how these huge cover-ups happen. When whole neighborhoods be in on it, when they got the money to pay for the legal counsel, these people get away with murder, man. With straight up murder.
It just so happened her stepson was present during the last moments of Nolan's life, and they are refusing to cooperate and give the family answers. I have attached the family's GoFundMe because they're going to need the independent investigation, because I'll be damned if they play in the Wells face in broad fucking daylight. Me, Ashley Cole,
That's
who's
wild.
a judge in Mississippi.
So we got the demo on Ashley Cole. She already got cover-ups, y'all. And it's rumored that, you know, they're not permitted to identify his body, that the parents were not permitted to identify the body due to trauma and bruising. And now bruising, they say that bruising, pardon me, that only humanly possible pre-mortem. So there's some issues going on here. We got to talk a little bit more about the body. We got to talk a little bit more about the body. And the judge, we already know she dirty. You know, just based on how all those teenagers was moving. There's some foul play going on. And, you know, and at the end of the day, they have the power to cover up these things for their children. They're going to do it. They're going to use their power. Isaiah 59:4, none calleth for justice, nor any pleader for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. That part. Exactly. It ain't no justice with these individuals. They have the money. They have the power. They have the resources. They can have, when they come together, they can create cover-ups. Now, let's continue, and then we gotta do some research on the autopsy. Okay, I think that's the last video right there, and I'm gonna look this up real quick because they got to give us the cause of death. One moment, y'all. We doing this in real time. And it should be everywhere. The autopsy was scheduled today. It is the 7th, July 7th. And it's supposed to be news everywhere about his autopsy, for real. They stalling, y'all. Hold on, let me share my screen with y'all. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm looking at. They stalling. They don't want to tell the public how that boy died. They don't want to do it. Because I guarantee it was some type of blunt force trauma, perhaps when they were trying to force him off that boat. Let's go.
Join us here on WLOX News now at midday. I'm Brandy McGill. This morning, we are continuing to push for answers on what happened to Nolan Wells. He's the teen presumed dead after his body was found out on Horn Island. Today, an autopsy is being done at the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office Coast Crime Lab, and Will Polston is outside the lab now with what he knows. Will?
Well, good morning, Brandy. Good morning, everybody joining us. If you've been keeping up with us here at WLOX, you know the case and the story of Nolan Wells, who had disappeared back on July 4th, and then a body presumed to be him was discovered yesterday around 8:45 a.m. Here behind me in the forensics lab is where hopefully the family will get some new answers. While the family did take to social media and say that the body was Nolan Wells, the coroner of Jackson County, Bruce Lind, says he's waiting for the DNA results from this test that will come back and confirm whether or not it is him. Of course, there is a lot of speculation that it is him, and with the family confirming and Sheriff Ledbetter of Jackson County also saying that he matched the description. And now also we're hoping that this, with the autopsy coming forward, now we don't know exactly when the results will come forward, but we do know that it was being conducted today. I was told this morning by Bruce Lind, the Jackson County coroner as well. So we're going to get some answers. The family's going to get some answers revealing the cause of death and the condition in which Nolan Wells was found as well. We got a chance to speak with multiple agencies, including the United Cajun Navy, just talking about the looming questions that still stand that will hopefully be answered by this autopsy.
That's the question everybody's asking.
So let's be clear. The autopsy was scheduled to be released today or performed today. And I have done some fact checking whether anything has been announced, and I'm going to give y'all some information, and we're going to continue to hear what this gentleman is saying. But according to, I'm using ChatGPT right now. I just asked, was there an autopsy report for Nolan Wells complete today? And it says no, as right now, the autopsy has been performed, but the final report has not been released. So there has been an autopsy performed today. They have not released the report. Now, I don't know why. It's almost another day. So as you can see, they're dragging their feet. His cause of death should have been released immediately to the public, because it's already a high profile case. So that right there screams somebody stalling. It says the official cause and manner of death have not been released. Officials have indicated it could take a couple of weeks to receive the complete autopsy findings, including toxicology. That's bullish. And you know what they're going to be doing? They're going to be spinning the narrative. They're going to plant little seeds. He was drinking that day, which doesn't matter. Why would it matter if he was drinking that day? Because y'all said y'all don't know what happened to him. Y'all don't even remember what happened. He just disappeared. So whether he was drinking or not, it doesn't matter. But the news is trying to plant that little seed. He was drinking, some freak accident. We got to get the toxicology back. Oh, he had a lot of alcohol in his system. Perhaps he slipped, he fell. This is the type of stuff they're going to try to come up with, y'all. But they're not really prioritizing this autopsy report. You can almost get that report immediately after it's done. At least the cause of death.
Truly what happened. We're not law enforcement. We are a volunteer group that specializes in search and rescue, search and recovery. We leave the investigating to the law enforcement officers. And I think that's the question everybody has. Truly what happened. All we know is the end result. We're going to leave that investigation to law enforcement, and I hope they come up with a solution or come up with a storyline on exactly what happened to Nolan.
Now,
notice that storyline, because that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get a conclusion. You're going to get a damn storyline. They're trying to figure out what they're going to come up with. This thing is getting messy. That's why they unfollowed Nolan. This is why the parents got them lawyered up. It's getting too messy.
Autopsy will determine the next steps in the investigation. Sheriff Ledbetter in Jackson County does say that the investigation is ongoing, and they've been interviewing multiple people who may know something and following multiple leads to find out what happened on the island on the day of July 4th. Live in Harrison County, Will Polson, WLOX News Now.
Nolan was sacrificed in a ritualistic white supremacy killing on the 4th of July on Horn Island. That's what happened to him. No ifs, ands, and buts about that. Yeah, and they're covering it up. And I want to share something else with y'all too, because there's been a lot of scenarios I've seen people talking about, and some of the things I haven't really weighed in on. And I'm gonna go there and actually speak on a couple of these things because they've been trying to clamp down on us defending ourselves. Self-defense have seemed to be an issue in our community, standing up for ourselves. Meanwhile, these people are out here doing the most. Let me see. Make sure. All right. Let's see. It's a particular video I want to share with y'all. I don't know if y'all seen this incident outside of a Walmart in Florida. Parking spot incident. I want to go there for a second. Because it actually went viral, I think, last week. And people actually asked me about this recently.
Breaking news that only shocks white America. Another white person has around and found out. According to investigation and both cell phone and dash cam footage that is now widely circulated, the shooting occurred just before 12:30 p.m. on June 30th, 2026, outside of a Walmart in North Lauderdale, Florida. The incident between 62-year-old Bart DeGuglielmo and an unidentified black woman is rumored to have began as a verbal altercation over a parking space. Video footage shows the woman in 4K holding her firearm while instructing DeGuglielmo to stay away while she was on the phone. Despite her warnings to stay away, DeGuglielmo is seen in 4K choosing to advance toward her anyway. The woman has began circling other vehicles as an effort to retreat and avoid DeGuglielmo, who is following short behind. The woman made the final decision to stand her ground at the rear of her own vehicle, and as the 62-year-old circled again to approach her, one shot was fired into his abdomen. DeGuglielmo was transported to Broward Health Medical Center. He is now dead. As for the woman whose identity has yet to be released by authorities, you can see in the video that she was arrested, she has surrendered her firearm, and has complied with the police. In fact, the detectives of the Broward Sheriff's Office confirms that the woman has been cooperating this entire time, claiming that the shooting was in self-defense. The woman has been released after questioning, and no charges have been filed at this time. This just comes 3 weeks after the guilty verdict of Carmelo Anthony, where public opinion was still mixed on self-defense. And now this incident has amplified the anger of racist white Americans. Trigger warning for the statements that we are about to read. In a proper society, she'd be hanging from a tree before the sunset. F that. She needs to be hanging from a effing tree. Watch the video. She needs to be put down by the state like the animal that she is. How are you going to shoot an unarmed old man simply walking towards you? I hope that they hang this piece of shit waste of life upside down when she gets to court. Dude did nothing wrong. This is why we need to get rid of these horrible, disgusting, filthy people. Our slur-ass people have a power trip when they have a firearm. People like this should have been flushed a long time ago, and this man would still be alive. Are you dead ass? Now, regardless if any of those accounts are humans or bots, they are all based here in the United States. And I reiterate, a country, mind you, where both system and select citizens have made it abundantly clear that they believe in their heart of hearts that certain laws only apply to them. The last comment that I read spoke the loudest. Now, a question for all of my viewers and listeners. With the amount of sick individuals that still think like this in modern day, that clearly show that they've never wanted black and brown people to be citizens and exercise the same Second Amendment and self-defense rights that they have, what do y'all think the ramifications would have been if the Supreme Court gutted the 14th Amendment by ending birthright citizenship? Y'all know what to do. I've given y'all numerous hints, and I will continue to give more. Stay ahead of the curve before they start playing in your face with more of your rights, because it only pisses off racist white people even more.
I mean, wow, that's a lot to unpack right there. I wasn't really that hip to this story. Somebody sent me this earlier, and so I'm giving y'all my authentic reaction right here, man. It looked like dude had a death wish. I mean, it looked like somebody in the chat said it. Like, it looked like she just pretty much put his ass out of his misery. I mean, nobody just walks up on somebody. It's a 60-something-year-old woman. She walked around that whole damn parking lot trying to get away from this maniac. She got a gun drawn on. The police seen the footage like, man, it's all good. It's all good, man. No charges filed. You can go home, ma'am. We seen the footage. Ain't nothing we could do about that. She warned this man several times. She's walking around the cars. She's 60-something years old. You think she gonna risk this man lunging at her? He must have had that damn zombie DNA. Oh, nobody just keep walking towards somebody, pressing them up, chasing them around the parking lot with a gun drawn on them. That is insane. I would be compelled to let off a shot too if I see the damn gun ain't even scaring him. When she warned him, yo, back up. I feel threatened for my life. Anybody who would have a person approaching them, you have a gun drawn on this man. He's still approaching you. You done ran around the damn parking lot. I'll be afraid for my life too. I'm like, this man ain't scared of nothing. Is this man a zombie? What happened if he would have lunged at this woman and got a hold of that firearm? This ain't the movies. This ain't the movies. You know in the movie scenes where the killer or maniac, he get real close and put the gun down, all right? I'm gonna just keep walking towards you now. Put the gun down now. And he grabbed the gun and he knock on her ass, and then you be in the movie screaming like you should have shot him. That man was demon possessed. Y'all know in the movies, when we sitting there watching the movie, like, shoot him. Nah, you talking too much. You letting them get too close. Man, I'm glad that woman got off. She did exactly what she needed to do. She defended herself. Simple as that. And the white supremacist was pissed. The white supremacist was pissed. Let me see. Somebody says, oh, y'all cracking up, man. Y'all know we just keeping it 1,000. You ever fuss at the TV like that? Michael Myers get up. He all demon possessed. He coming towards somebody. And they like, back up, Michael. I'm warning you, Michael. I have a gun. Michael don't care about that gun. It's like demon possession is real, and people really tweaking out here. People losing their damn mind. And it looked like from the video, she wanted to get in her car, but she wouldn't have had time to get to her door, open the door. She had to circle other cars. Then she circled behind hers because he was too close to her. Imagine her trying to reach for the door while she's not a professional gunsman. She's not going to try to reach for the door. She like this, holding the gun, trying to reach for the door. Don't come any closer. He just slammed the damn door on her arm or something, or just slammed the door on her and started attacking her. No, she had to get his ass out the way. She couldn't stop to get in her car. She had to get him out the way so she can get home safe. That lady looked like she don't bother nobody. She looked like she go get her groceries. She probably buy her lottery tickets, watch her TV shows, and mind her business. And that's why the Most High spared her. She ain't got to do time or none of that. The Empress says she do that all the time, right? Be cussing the TV out. Yeah, she moved accordingly. And some people ask me about that situation. From what I just seen, she did what she had to do. I mean, it's open and shut right there. That's open and shut. Yeah, there ain't much to that.
They absolutely killed that boy. We all know they did. And you see, the crazy thing is, even without bringing race into it yet, we know for a fact that kids become evil as fuck when they are jealous. You put all those teenagers on a secluded island or a secluded beach with no adult supervision, underage drinking, and girls, jealousy is inevitable. Fighting is inevitable. And then when they are caught fighting, they will look you dead in your face and say, I tripped. I fell. That's how quickly teenagers lie to adults' faces to cover up their own act. Now, to bring race into it, it's about an 80% chance that they're about to sweep this under the rug. One of those white boys' fathers is going to pay off the police and tell them to sweep this under the rug and call it an accident to protect all those white boys from going to prison. That's exactly what's about to happen. I give about an 80% chance. Because you know where else this looks familiar? Talma Horsford, who mysteriously turned up dead, surrounded by her white friends at a sleepover. Or Trey Reed, being found hung from a tree on a predominantly white college campus where he was conveniently found where none of the cameras would have saw him. And we're disgusted all the same. And we're supposed to celebrate this country, right? We're supposed to say that racism is over and to just get over racism, right? Oh, and just an FYI, if any of y'all are in my comment section victim blaming this kid, you're blocked.
Man, that's wow. Let me see. Let's just entertain this for a second. Let me see. Where's that comment at? Divinity DNA. Who did you sell your fictional soul to and have all the NPC soulless, unclean, pestilence, abomination, lack demons, fake constructs watch you? You say this while watching me. Interesting. You say that while watching me. Now, that was easy. All right. Yeah, I think they might have organ harvesting. One of the parents was some type of physician. You know, there's no telling what these people did. The fact that they telling y'all it's going to take weeks to get the autopsy report, that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, man, you know, that's crazy. Somebody says, in England, I don't feel safe around too much white people. In England, not as bad as America. Right. Let me say, somebody says, well, let's do Divinity a favor. Let's just do you a favor. Let's put you right on out of your misery. Yeah, let's do you that favor. You lucky I ain't got my buttons working right now. We're just gonna go ahead and send your ass to the outer realm. We're just gonna shift you to the inner world. Control Alt Delete. Hey, just enjoy it on the other side. You know, no love lost. We just don't want you in here miserable. Yeah, they definitely trying to cover something up. Yeah, somebody says, don't even entertain it. I can barely understand what they say. Go to grammar class. Yeah, they were trying to sound intelligent, you know. But you know, I had to go ahead and boot them up out of here. To the abyss they go. I haven't blocked nobody in a long time. Amy said, to the outer darkness you go. Yeah, man, it's getting crazy out here, man. Like, you got to be careful who you trust in general. I don't care who it is. People got to prove themselves. And when their energy is weird, I pay attention to how people's vibes are, the energy. I pay attention less to their words and more to their actions. I don't care who it is. It could be a friend. It can be, you know, intimate relationships. It can be, you know, family members, associates, whatever. You know, at this point in time in life, you just got to deal with people who proven to be battle tested, people who been through it with you when you was at your worst and still can level with you. People who seen you at your worst and still can be like, you know what? I see the best in you. You know, or people who seen you at your worst but talked you up to being your best. Not people who see you at your worst and try to stomp you down and beat you down and all of that. Or you got to watch out for people who it seems like they're always looking for weakness. Like it's always a constant battle with some people. Some of y'all got friends that just like to argue. I don't like arguing. Some guys, they hang out, they just want to argue the whole day. Some same thing with some of you ladies. Y'all hang with some of y'all friends and y'all just want to argue. Who wants to be around combative energy 24/7, or the people that you're supposed to be kicking it with? Now, having a little debate here and there is one thing. We all have different viewpoints on life, but I'm talking about people who are just contrarians because they really don't like you. They want to be around you, but they're just contrarians, low key. No, nobody want to be around that. I mean, I'm telling you, the older I get, the more I don't care to be around nonsense. Listen, I am known to disappear. There's like a running joke. There's a running joke. Yeah, they want to argue or gossip all day. It's a running joke with my friend groups that I grew up with and some of the people that I've been around. They be like, man, Breed just be disappearing. Like 1 minute I'm there, the next minute I'm gone. Like it could be little groups, we talking, I'm gone. Not because, it's just like, I know when to veer off as I'm like what you would consider a extroverted introvert. A lot of the Most High people, we got to have time to ourselves to balance our vibes and energy and really put our minds together and put some thought into what's going on around us, man. We just can't be around too many damn people because there's too many motives out there. It's too much shiesty energy. Just can't do it. You be hanging with somebody and they be trying to compete with you and all of that. No, we're not doing all that. We're not doing that. We need peace. Yeah, there's too many people that's just janky. Too much of that. And then, one thing about a lot of us brothers and sisters, and it's true, we comfortable being alone. We are comfortable holding our own. We're comfortable hanging out by ourselves at times, all of that. I mean, it just is what it is. America is being judged. There's a lot of tension going on within the country. They do want a race war. And I'm going to be 100 with y'all. Some of the stories that we're seeing, they're very intentional. That's why they get so much mainstream appeal and traction. And that's for a reason too. Like anything aired on a mainstream level has an agenda. And, the agenda ultimately is about psychological warfare, keeping us divided. They want us divided. But what the so-called global elite don't understand is this is not about black and white. It's about good and evil. Although, of course, the devil has used a specific race to control and dominate in evil, but everybody of that race, that doesn't make them evil. That's not what we're saying. But they want the battle to be white and black so we could just have distrust among all people. One thing about it, righteous people are going to notice righteous people, regardless of race. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be able to be around people and respect people for who they are. We're just gonna be able to do that. Like it's gonna be unspoken. Like, oh, I can feel your energy. You cool. It ain't gonna be one of those things where we looking up at every person who's a different race and we timid or paranoid. But that's what they want. That's literally the agenda. Why? Because it's divide and conquer. When they start putting boots to the ground, when they start rolling in them damn army tanks, when they start doing the things they do, they don't want people coming together. No. But guess what? People are going to come together anyway. There's going to be black and white people that rock with each other. There will be. They don't want you to see that, but it will be. But of course, as a whole, no, we got to veer towards our own as a whole. And the Gentiles that are righteous, the Gentiles that want to learn from us, and whatever the case is, they got the right to congregate with us and you know, come kick it with us and cool with us. We're welcoming to everybody. However, you know, long as they understand, like there's you know, there's a power structure here. You know, there's order here, there's boundaries here. And that goes for any, nobody can just come and just take over and overthrow and run things. You know, some people go to the new job and they think they run the joint. No, we don't do that. We will exile you in a heartbeat trying to do that. And, you know, just know that we're not looking for a white savior. You know, you got some of these creators, it's like they speaking on behalf of us, but in actuality, they're not really doing anything for us. You know, a lot of them be pandering. They literally be pandering to us. Yeah, that's wrong what they did to so-and-so. And it's good to hear a white person say it, but we're not looking for a white savior either. If y'all really want to make a difference, use your large ass followings and put some money together and help somebody out. That's what you do. Put some protests together and help somebody out. Yeah, a lot of race hustlers out there. A lot of race hustlers out there. And that, you know, and that's the game they play. You know, we focus on what's true. This been our reality. If it's anybody who should be able to speak on it and speak about the outrage or our feelings of our experiences, Black Americans, it should be us. If anybody want to hear what our experience is and what we think, of course, what are they going to do? They're going to come to us to hear it. That's who they should want to come to. Instead of Secret Service Sam over there, he's stating the obvious, yes. But if you want to know what we think, the people who are going through it, the people who are enduring, you need to come to us to find out what we think. Because nobody else can really speak for us. They can speak with their action. The Bible says, vote with your feet. Vote with your feet. Because I see a lot of these people who be well off, they be having all these resources, but they damn sure they're not pouring them resources into our communities. I ain't see none of these people with these big, large followings that got Black people watching them getting validated. I don't see none of them starting no type of organizations, no groups. They're not doing nothing. They're just racking up social media funds, and that is what it is. Just know that we see, and we can separate what's going on, and we're not looking for y'all's approval. Because I do feel like that there's a new angle being taken since we didn't get involved with all the anti-immigration riots and all of that. We didn't get involved with the Antifa stuff. We didn't get involved in none of that. So now it's like some of those same people are agents on the low. They trying to wiggle their way into pandering to Black folks. So you got to look out for them too, because they trying to rally up for the next protest, the next thing, we can rally up some colored people out there. No, it's not going to happen. We're not doing it. Yep, we're not doing it. Chrissy says, I say we all stand together as brothers and sisters in Christ against this evil. I agree, Chrissy. If you're a brother and sister against Christ, then we can stand against this evil. But it got to be the real Christ. The real Christ, not the Christian nationalist Christ. Not baby white Hulk Hogan Jesus that they've been putting and promoting out there. Not Hills Have Eyes Jesus. No, not Caesar Borgia, Typical Prisoners Jesus. No, not Uncle Ruckus Pearly White Jesus. No. The Bible Jesus. Because the scripture says, he who have remembered me as the scriptures have written shall have everlasting life. And that's what we gotta establish. That's what we gotta establish. But nonetheless, brothers and sisters, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. continue to rise in this truth. I want to thank everybody for joining. Hopefully y'all got edified and we got some more information out there. And I want to thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed evening. Make sure y'all like, share. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Support the work at nubreedglobaltruth.com and get your natural products from hebrewcare.com. All right. So share y'all support. Share this video everywhere. One love to y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Shalom. Peace.